Hi everyone, my name is Prachi Bishnoi. I'm the editor of the Sustainable Brands Journal, and today we are at the Sports Impact Summit at the Atlantis, Dubai, and I'm with Rory, who's the founder of Reflo, the sustainable sportswear brand. And over to you. I want you to introduce yourself, say a little bit about your brand.
Sure. I'm Rory MacFadyen, the co-founder of Reflo. We are a sustainable performance wear brand, meaning that we make clothing that is designed to be moved in. We have certain things that we call our sharp points, so training, golf, paddle tennis are kind of things that we definitely dial into, but actually we're a multifunctional performance wear brand. So if you're buying Reflo, we say however you want to work out and move in it, it's completely up to you. So when we say sustainability, it means a lot of things for us. Yes. Sustainability is our North Star, it's our guiding light. We make decisions, every decision we make in the business, we firstly say what's the most sustainable way of doing this. And some examples of how that kind of manifests is all of our products are made from recycled waste. We plant a tree for every product we sell. We carbon offset our entire workforce. We have no single-use plastics anywhere in our supply chain, so all of our packaging is biodegradable. If you were to buy a Reflo t-shirt, it would come in a bag which you can throw away, cornstarch bag that would biodegrade, and yeah, plenty other things more. I could go into the detail.
So, but first, I just want to know, where are you from and where are you based? Like, is this brand available everywhere in the world right now, or is it?
Yeah. Reflo is available everywhere in the world from reflo.com, which is reflo.com. I'm from the UK, and my business partner is also from the UK, but we both live in Dubai. We've lived in Dubai for 11 years. And we're also available in certain retailers around the world. So if you're in Dubai and you went into Go Sport, Mall of the Emirates or Dubai Mall, you would see Reflo in there, for example.
So I want to just start with how there's an innovation in recycling that we have seen in the brand. So the Reloop process, which you've been talking about pretty much, been seeing the brand, is a game changer in sustainable sportswear. So what make it unique compared to the traditional recycling methods that we have till now?
Sure. So I think the biggest thing is it's fiber to fiber textile recycling. So I was speaking to someone today earlier, and they talked about in their house they have recycling bins where they put plastic bottles, they put whatever. And I said, well, how do you how do you recycle your clothing? And he said, I didn't know you could recycle clothing. And the answer is you can't. Most of the time, as soon as you blend two fabrics or put something else on a fabric like a silicone, it becomes unrecyclable.
Studs and stuff like that.
Exactly. So for us, Reloop is a way of designing and producing clothing that can be recycled at end of life. And we can physically take it back. There's a QR code in the back neck of the product. When you're finished with it, scan that and you can send it back to us, and we'll recycle it back into a pellet of recycled polyester.
Amazing. So I just want to ask about the new Motorsports partnership that you guys just did. So can you give us a sneak peek into the upcoming Motorsport partnership and how this collaboration aligns with Reflo's sustainability goals?
Absolutely. So we are working with 3 Formula E teams. Formula E is similar to Formula One, but electric, so it's a lot more sustainable. It's all around the world. And we've partnered with 3 teams on the grid, the current world champions in Jaguar TCS Racing, Nissan, who are a huge global Japanese business and one of the favourites for this coming season, and Andretti, who are a big US brand who operates in
just name the sport again?
It's Formula E.
Formula E. So it's like absolutely like F1, but it's all the cars are EV in this.
Yes, it's similar to Formula One. It's they wouldn't like it if you said they're the same as Formula One, but they are similar single-seater racing cars. Events happen around the world. So there's a race this weekend in Sao Paulo in Brazil. So we've worked with those teams to develop their team kit for the year. So what their drivers wear, what their staff wear, what the mechanics wear, and we've used this Reloop technology, meaning at the end of the season we can take that back from them and recycle it.
Amazing. That's a great initiative. So when it comes to selling products and sustainability, because I come from a marketing background as well, and we do handle brands which are sustainable, and we have most of the time we've seen this challenge of sustainable brands struggling to communicate their message to their customers, that what they stand for, and sometimes that messaging get lost in the commercial aspect of selling and making revenues, or sometimes when you stick too much with it, you as a brand, you get lost because you're not able to make sales. You might look expensive to people, they might not understand the cost behind it. So is there any kind of challenges that you faced with Reflo, and how are you kind of making your whole marketing strategies around it to get more consumer engagement?
Absolutely, yeah, it is a challenge, and there's an element of education there that we make clothing that's designed to last, and it's not fast fashion. It's not you buy something, wear it 3 times, 4 times, it falls apart and it throws away and you don't mind, because you paid very little for it. So it's about changing the mindset of consumerism and fast fashion into buying less, wearing more, buying better. So yeah, there's definitely education in that space, and we try and keep sustainability as simple as possible. And the key thing for us actually is making great product. If it doesn't matter if you're sustainable or not, if people don't like the product and don't want to wear it. So sustainability is super important to us, but we're aware actually the customer, their first instance is, does it look good and does it feel good? And does it perform well? And if it doesn't do those things, then it's not going to be worn, and therefore it's not sustainable.
Not going to be bought. Correct. But how are you communicating that message through your marketing? Like, how are you generating consumer engagement? Is there anything specific you are doing to communicate your vision? Let's say if we placed Reflo against Nike, I mean, I don't want to name the brands, but all the other sportswear brands that we have in the market, how do you think, are you able to create that difference? Or
Yeah, absolutely, because it's not a marketing tool for us. And I think the key thing is not seeing sustainability as just a marketing tool. And we see plenty of brands in that greenwashing space. So we do communicate it, but actually if you were to go on our Instagram page, it isn't the first thing that you see us talk about. We educate people why the product is great and then talk about sustainability. So there's a balance between talking about it and being too in people's face, which can put people off. But I think it's about keeping the messaging simple and consistent. And yeah, I think for us, that's the important part.
But are there any challenges that you're facing right now? Because why I'm asking this question, because I want consumers to be more aware that by not making conscious sustainable choices, we are actually not letting the sustainable businesses grow. That's the biggest challenge we are facing. And you can be making the best product, but
I think
what are the key challenges that you face while having this kind of brand?
I think we're very lucky that we're having exponential growth and people are seeing the value in what we're doing.
Amazing, that's great. Good to hear that.
We're seeing that people are starting to understand the sustainability side, but I think it's keeping it simple, but also making sure that you're not afraid to call out when you see something which is greenwashing, as we call it. So the biggest challenge we see is the big incumbent brands that we've just mentioned, one of them, talking about sustainability when they're not a sustainable brand whatsoever. And I think customers are starting to see through those claims. And there's two, we say McDonald's makes salads, but it doesn't make them a health food store. Whereas, those big brands having a sustainable range, which is maybe 0.1% of their entire range, doesn't make them a sustainable brand. So we're starting to see customers understanding that.
So I think staying honest to your customers, I think, is becoming the new key to selling your products. Stay as honest as possible. Stay transparent with your production and your product styles. And I think it kind of worked. We recently got to know that you got 40 most influential sports executive under 40. What role do you see Reflo playing in transforming the sports industry, and how does this recognition came your way? I mean, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
First of all.
Thank you. It was very humbling. It was wasn't expected, but it was great.
Amazing.
Yeah, I think Reflo has got a huge opportunity to, it's unspoken the amount of fabric waste and the amount of
it's the second biggest polluter in the world. Fabric waste is the second biggest polluter after plastic.
92 million metric tons of fabric waste gets discarded every year, which
going
is
to the landfills.
And a lot of that is sportswear. So if you consider every football team in the world, every Formula One team in the world, every season changes its kit and buys huge amounts of kit, and that kit isn't recyclable, then our aim is to provide a solution, which we're doing with Jaguar and Nissan, for example, in Formula E, where we can have a recyclable system. And next year, I can't say who they are, but we'll be announcing 2 football teams, 2 soccer teams, that will be creating fibre-to-fibre recycled football kits for recyclable football kits for, and it's something that can roll out across all sports, and we can use our Reloop technology into reducing fabric waste within the sports industry.
Amazing, that's great. So beyond apparel, do you envision Reflo's innovations influencing other industries, or do you have any other future plans where you think that I can do something similar in this something very connected to the space or absolutely out of the space?
I think we're becoming known to our partners as kind of innovators in sustainability. So we actually get approached by our partners saying, do you have any ideas how we can do this or produce certain things better that are in their ecosystem? So we like to think of ourselves as an innovation partner as much as a apparel partner. And there's a couple of projects I can't really mention, but they're super exciting, where we've partnered with brands outside of the apparel space. And we're going to do some collaborations with them using our sustainable knowledge and what we've learned, and to create ranges for them which are better for the world. So yeah, again, watch this space next year.
Amazing.
Cool announcements.
That's great. So one last question, like all the apparel or the t-shirts and clothing that you're producing, do you want to tell us like how much impact every t-shirt or every piece of jersey people buy is creating, and how, you know, kind of ensuring, like I was going through some facts and they seem interesting, like 15 plastic bottles against a t-shirt. Because it's as a consumer, you don't vision that, right? You don't see that happening and you don't know about it. So I think it's good to give them some visual representation of how it looks like buying a recycled t-shirt.
And it really varies product for product and based on the weight of the fabric. But as you mentioned, our t-shirts are anywhere between 15 and 18, the equivalent of 15 and 18 recycled plastic bottles worth of plastic. That's not necessarily just plastic bottles. We take household consumer waste, we take some industrial waste, anything that would end up just in landfill normally, and we recycle that down. So we use the equivalency of plastic bottles, because when we talk about making it easy for people to understand, that's a great way of like representing that.
Absolutely, very important.
If you went on our website and you looked at any product, one of the first things you'll see is the impact of that product, and that is the amount of equivalent of recycled plastic bottles. You'll see a counter on our website, which is how many we've recycled over time, which is, I'm proud to say, is over 1.5 million.
That's amazing.
And we also plant a tree for every product we sell. So whenever you buy something, you know the positive impact is going to happen. And we plant mangroves in Mozambique and Madagascar.
Amazing.
Which are great, oxygenate water, oxygenate the air, stop coastal erosion, and planted in areas which would normally be decimated by agriculture. So.
But also another thing, you know, I think when we say that we are recycling plastic in making these clothes, do you think the recycled plastic can be harmful for your skin, or for your wearing those clothes could be harmful for your body or your skin? Because that is all discarded plastic, right? And it's going for...
we thoroughly, we take it back, we thoroughly clean it and make sure that it is, you know, as clean as virgin polyester, because otherwise the contamination in there would cause problems.
Absolutely.
So, no, I wouldn't say that is a problem. We also, the fabric's all Okotex 100 certified, meaning that they aren't containing harmful chemicals and things like that, especially the dyeing process. You'd be surprised at a lot of fabrics, when they get dyed, create huge environmental impact. So that doesn't happen with us. And then we're very stringent on fabric testing. We work with independent testing houses on doing things like wash testing to see what happens when you wash a product 50, 60, 100, 200 times. So yeah, we're very thorough on looking at our fabrics.
I also read a very interesting line with your brand. It says repair, recycle, reuse. And something else along with it.
So we would always...
So when I say, why I've written that, 3 parts is clear. So repair, when you say repair, so are you providing any kind of service or any kind of assistance?
We're not as a business, but we recommend third parties. There's some great third parties around that you can send product to and they'll repair.
That's amazing.
Reuse is absolutely number one before throwing anything away. If it's still got life in it, before you recycle it, recycling is the end of life, when it's got no uses left. So reuse, so gift it, give it to someone else. Repair, repurpose. We think recycle is right at the very end of the product life cycle.
That's amazing, Rory. Thanks for your time, and I really appreciate what you've been doing with Reflo. It's really inspiring.
Thank you.
And we would want to see more of Reflo everywhere else. And I really, really wish that people stop buying from fast fashion platforms that we all get like hundreds of ads every day on Instagram, and start looking at brands which are more conscious, more purpose-driven. Because we all know how we discard clothes and how we buy clothes these days. 50% off, and yes, you have 5 t-shirts in your wardrobe, right? And so it's getting hard. It's also about changing our shopping behaviors. along with making choices with the brands that align with the purpose.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so you have any message, last call to the people?
Yeah, I'd say, firstly, thank you for listening. We're on a mission to make genuine change, and if you like what you've heard, then reflo.com, Reflo, I think it's here somewhere, Reflo.
Yes.
It is a place where you can read more. We've got lots of information about there, and we talk about how transparent we are, and we talk about all of our processes. So yeah, it's a great place to visit to learn more about what we do.
Thank you so much, Rory, for your time.
Cheers.
And thank you, everyone.
Thank you.